Is this thing on? Okay, good. What's up, everyone? It's Ramen Wolf 1485. I know it's been a while, and I apologize for me being in my pajamas right now, but this is a new room update video. So, I know I haven't done anything the last couple of months just because I've been busy with work and whatnot, but I decided, hey, on my off days, I'm going to see if I can't get back around to making some more videos. I currently now work full-time at Walgreens as a designated hitter. I got promoted within about 7 months of working there, which is pretty good. But, anyways, I just recently updated my room with some new stuff, some new displays. Everything's a little bit different now. It's still a little bit of a mess, but that's mostly because I'm having a hard time finding places to put certain things, like what I just dropped there. But anyways, let's get on with the January 2019 New Year's tour, basically. Alright, so, we're going to start, we're going to come over here. If you remember correctly, this used to be my TV show section. Now it is from my Blu-ray movie collection and DVD movie collection. All the different movies and stuff I've collected over the years. Nothing really crazy. Some DVDs down here. My Halo book series I found at a Goodwill. Just some random assorted stuff. I got my laser discs over here. My CED video disc stuff. Records. My Intellivision has moved over here now. Along with just some random items I have just lying about. And we got my Funko Pop vinyl figures. I don't have many of these because I'm not the biggest collector of them. I've only got the ones I absolutely want. But, scoot over here now. This section's been updated only slightly. I've got some random new models and stuff that I've picked up at Goodwills and whatnot. My PS4 collection has grown substantially, including some really weird titles. My Xbox collection has actually shrunk, as I've gotten rid of games I don't really like. Here's some PS2, PS3 overflow, and we'll get to this. We'll get to this box here in a moment. This has remained relatively unchanged. I also had to find a new place to put my Watermelon N64, which now sits all the way at the top here, along with my new Socrates VTech video educational video system, which we will do a video about eventually once I get a power cord for it. Move down here. This is my Intellivision section. It's kind of put together haphazardly, but this is where all my Intellivision games are. Move over here to my CED. I don't know if this was in the last video I made, but since then, oh yeah, since that last video, I've completely got everything hooked up now. I'll show you how this works here at the end of the video. It's pretty cool. Got my Philips CDI. Again, everything's hooked up. I could actually play my CDI at any time. I can play this at any time, which is nice. See? This thing is really, really, really cool. Like I said, I'll do a demonstration of that later. N64 games, relatively unchanged down here. Got a new section for my books. Some of my books, at least. Some of my favorites. More records down there. PlayStation 1 games. Back behind here is my Weird Al record set, along with some of my other records. They're some of my favorites to play. This has remained relatively unchanged. Scooby. It's a Scooby popcorn popper. Over here we got my record player, which is, again, relatively unchanged, but now I've got this hooked up and grounded correctly to where it doesn't buzz when I play it, which is nice. Couple systems. I don't know if this was in the last one, but this is relatively new. Had to replace my old cassette player because it didn't work right. A little bit of a Hot Wheels thing signed by some of pretty decent people. Got my Switch. Got some random stuff up here. We'll get down there in a second. Some random knickknacks and stuff. Mostly just a memorabilia shelf filled with items I've collected over the years. Amiibos. Some pretty weird stuff like that Pokemon VCR right there. Don't know if I'd ever do a video on that. It's kind of obscure and I can't really find a lot of information on it. Some video games. These are a bunch of my boxed games for N64, Super Nintendo, and in original NES. This wall over here has remained literally unchanged. I haven't changed that in several years. There's probably like an inch of dust on those top cars up there. I'm gonna move down here. Not much has changed. Still got the Chevrolet from a Chevrolet van on my TV. Got my splitter set up. A little bit set up a little bit differently than I originally had it. Xbox One, PS4, PS3, and the Switch. Got my Xbox Kinect. My Super Nintendo Classic with the battery on it. I need to put that away actually. Still got a giant spider now. Picked it up for Halloween from clearance at Walgreens. Got me a nice little shiny Vulpix plushie over there sitting on top of my PS4 charger. Got my VCR, which again, I can use this whenever. Oh, that's right. Now I'll get to that in a minute. HD DVD player. Oops. That's taking a minute for it to go off. Laserdisc player, which again. Oh, okay. I might as well. Whatever. I might as well describe this. These two, and I think the TV are set up on a special surge protector that unless the TV's on, these will not turn on. It's weird. But this does for some reason. Now I can't get it to go off. I'll fix that later. GameCube, NES, more records. My Grape N64 is now my main N64. Xbox, the Saturn, excuse me. Xbox One, PS4, new controller, PS3, some more games. All my DS games and stuff are down there. I dare not show you behind this because it looks terrible. We'll scoot along over here. This has remained relatively unchanged, although I've expanded my PS3 memorabilia shelf here. In case you got the Eye of Judgment, got a complete in box iToy with an iPet game. The Final Fantasy 13-2 Collector's Edition, a sealed PS3 Move controller. This thing is also a Street Fighter 4 Blu-ray behind it. The Black Ops collection, which I have all three of the games regular, now I have the collection. Kind of dumb. The Active, the Wonder Book, all my PS3 games, which I now have over 200 of. Over here we got PS2, relatively unchanged, besides with the addition of some new... I apologize for that, if you heard that. The addition of some new games that are in it. Relatively unchanged. Just CDs and CDs and CDs. Some Godzilla VHS tapes I can't find a place for. More PS2 games. I have over 300 PS2 games. It's a little bit insane. GameCube stuff. Now this is where my Blu-rays used to be. Now it contains all my Xbox games. And on this other side here is the rest of my Xbox games, including a bit of more PS2, PS3, PSP overspill, which is interesting. This is a bit of a mess. Still, I'm in, like I said, it's still a work in progress. My desk will probably never be perfect again, but most of this remains relatively unchanged. Got my Commodore 64, just a few random assorted items. Got my Crypto the Superdog memorabilia up there. Got my Scooby-Doo, some of my Scooby-Doo stuff right here, including my new Scooby-Doo stamp set I picked up from the post office the other day. Yeah, this is pretty cool right here. We got Scooby-Dum, and Dino-Mutt, Scooby-Doo. Not a Scooby character, but it's Hanna-Barbera dogs, so I included it anyways, including my Scooby-Doo Where Are You set. Relatively unchanged. Now, though, up there is where all my Genesis cases are, as well as my DS cases, 3DS cases, Switch, and Sega Master System game cases. All the games are actually over there in these cases, right there. So, there's really no point. This is where I'm now keeping my DVD sets, TV shows. One of them was missing because I'm currently watching it. Yeah. This is just all my TV show sets and whatnot. Nothing really special here. Just a bunch of random sets and stuff I've collected over the years. stuff I like. Got my anime section at the end here, which is pretty small. Not the biggest anime fan in the world. The wall, the Hot Wheels wall has remained relatively unchanged. I've gotten a couple complete in box Super Famicom games though, which is about the only thing that's changed on this shelf besides the addition of a couple games. Got my new, I got this from Walgreens. This is my controller tower, adapted from a gift card display. That's what it was. Took me a second to remember. Again, most of this relatively unchanged, with the addition of this because I ran out of room. These pegs actually fit perfectly into my pegboard here, and they're from Walgreens. Again, when we had the back to school display, they had these pegs in it, and I asked them, hey, could I take them home? She's like, sure, we're just going to toss them out anyways. So, I got that. And there's that. And, of course, my PC setup. I didn't even look at that. Like I said, it's a mess over here. I've got the new improved Superboy SFC. I sold my Superboy, my old one, to a coworker who is currently in love with it right now. Yeah, we got my PC, my 2009 HP Z400 workstation, which is currently running 16 gigabytes of RAM with a NVIDIA 1050 GTX graphics card. It's actually a pretty good little machine. I know, not a 1080, not a 2080, whatever. I don't care. That's not what I wanted it for. I wanted this for basic video editing and just basically surfing the web, and it does exceptionally well at it. Got my dual screen set up here, even though you can't tell at the moment because this screen only comes on and this one doesn't sometimes when we're in the lock screen. It's whatever though. Got the dual screen set up there. I've still got my NES and PS1 hooked up over here. I hope to be able to start getting back to Let's Plays and other videos soon. This is relatively new, so that's why I haven't really done much with it. That's a new game I picked up recently. Found it at a antique store nearby for $3, so it wasn't too bad. It was one I didn't have. Got the cords for it, the charger, and the AV hookup. Like I said, and then I got my chair, which hasn't changed. This right here is going to go somewhere once I get finished with it. I'd show what it is, but it might be a little controversial. It's a rifle. Let's just go with that. Not airsoft either, real thing. But yeah, I've got to find a place for this to go. This is actually my Yu-Gi-Oh card collection. It used to contain my Cards Against Humanity collection, but you can get ready to cringe. This is going to be very messy. But I got this. So there was no point to keeping them in that, so I put what's left of my Yu-Gi-Oh card collection in here. I put a new shelf in here. It's not really helping much for organization at the moment. It's pretty bad in here. This is an original electronic battleship from 1981. Got it for $1 at a yard sale. Don't know if I ever mentioned that before. This is my Mayhem Edition PS3 gun. I've got the gun right here, but I don't have room for the box, which is why the box is in here. Same for my Halo 3 Spartan Soldier action figure that I got from a friend for taking him to see Sausage Party. Anyways, some of my old systems are also up here. Some of them are awaiting to be fixed. Like, this doesn't work at the moment. The Super Nintendo Junior, it's got to be worked on. I'm not sure. I think the screws are rusted shut. I think we actually found this in a shed, so I'm going to try to see if I can work on that eventually. My Sega CD Model 1, which also doesn't work. My Atari 2600 does work. I just don't have it out. My RCA Studio 2, I can't make it work because it's weird. And then just a lot of miscellaneous stuff, like a lot of my VHS collection is in here. A lot of Godzilla stuff. Some stuff I've got online. My Halo Xbox, which sadly I had to retire for now because it won't play certain games. Like my Stubbs the Zombie will not play Stubbs the Zombie. But I bought that from a friend. Got this off a friend. Here's my Xbox 360. But the one that's here, excuse me, I found at a Goodwill for $1. I found this at a 99-cent Goodwill. Hooked it up using the cords from my thing, and it's become the best Xbox I own now. So, poses a small problem because now I have 2 Xboxes. Well, I always want to keep at least one extra of systems anyways. This is not the same PS3 that was here last time. Unfortunately, my backwards compatible PS3 is currently not working. This is another PS3. I found it for $9 at a Goodwill, and it works fine. It's a 260 gigabyte system, whereas my backwards compatible one is only 80. My backwards compatible one's currently going through some weird things where it's not working correctly, so don't know what's up with that, but it just doesn't. It doesn't want to work. But yeah. Oh, let me close this. These are guitar straps for Guitar Hero guitars, or real guitars, one of the two. Just depends. But yeah, that is my room. Like I said, I have some videos planned. I have one specific Hot Wheels video planned. It's going to take me a minute to get back to it, but because that one's going, I've got all the research and stuff done. I just need to make the script for it and actually get it filmed. That might be a while. Next video I want to do is, if he'll let me borrow it back, is do a comparison between the Super Famicom Superboy, the Superboy SFC, and the original Superboy, because I had the original Superboy, but again, I sold it to my coworker. Didn't really need it after I got that one. But yeah, no, this is my room. And oh yeah, I was going to show you the Select Vision, because I just like showing this thing. Hopefully we've got this set correctly. I've got the TV on, and I've got the VCR set to channel 3. Although this VCR, every time it turns off because of this, it resets itself, so it's whatever. But we have the Select Vision, RCA Select Vision video disc player in load. This is play, and this is off. We're sticking in load. The video I have selected today is the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner movie on RCA Select Vision. You take the disc, insert it into the front. Hear that? Pull it back out. It's gone. Oop. Forgot that was down there. Alright, and we kick down to play. Ooh, listen to that 80s tech. I don't know if you can hear that. Ooh, that's so good. Oh! Just popped up. A little wobbly, but this thing isn't perfect. Oh, sorry. See, the video quality is not as good as VHS, and is definitely inferior to Laserdisc. But it's a yeah. Let me explain a little bit how this works real quick. There's a lot of videos on these things already. But this thing is basically the same as my record player. The disc itself is read by a needle. Now, I don't know how the technology works, but it transmits a signal in both video and audio through the needle and converts it into something for the TV. I'm not sure. I'm not good at all that. But this thing is awesomely cool, and they only made them for about 4 years as far as I can tell. But this is coaxial. It's run from that into this power strip, which has another coaxial cable that runs to the VCR, which runs to the TV. So yeah. Yeah, it's having a little trouble because, like I said, these things were prone to scratches if you didn't take care of them. So yeah. Anyways, just occurred to me I forgot to tell you how to actually turn this off. Whatever you do, don't, well, at least I try to avoid, don't just turn it to off. It drops the disc and the disc keeps spinning. Actually, no, that's what you do. Don't go to load unload, go to off. Off stops the disc. I'm sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained. Give it a second. Then load unload. Then you pick the disc back up, or the case. You slide it until you hear it click. Pull it back out. And voila, back in there. And there you go.